Hello, good afternoon, and a warm welcome from PrintWeek-Esko. Today's session, may I call it a masterclass about the ArtPro Plus, is about the new offerings and features in a major new release. Esko, of course, needs no introduction. Esko is headquartered in Belgium and is part of the Danaher group of companies, which also includes Pantone, Videojet, Lynx, and X-Ride. But much more importantly, its pre-media workflow system has a large user base among packaging firms. Esko claims that packaging for 9 out of 10 major brands is produced by its customers. From whatever little I know about Esko, the key concepts that delegates will benefit from today's session are operational benefits of automated, standardized workflows, cloud-based computing, intuitive web-based user interface, action files, and edit parameters by having the necessary tools all in one place. So, Ravi Vaityanathan of Esko will share a ton of goodies about the ArtPro Plus 22. There are 3 other reasons why today's session is important. We conducted a few polls to elicit some customer feedback as a run-up to today's webinar. The first poll, demand hit was massive for the SME and MSME units in the print and packaging industry. Industry insiders said 21-22 was 2 tough years. So we asked the question, will the ops require restructuring going forward? Yes or no? 67% agreed and 33% disagreed. The second poll was to understand if e-learning will be the new normal in print and packaging. We asked the industry leaders their take on it. Yes, it is the future, said 12.5%. No, this is not ideal, said 37.5%. We're not ready yet, said 7%, while yes, it is the future, but it must be accessible to all, said 43% of the voters. The third poll was asking, would you consider buying a piece of kit online? Yes, if there are demos, said 23%. Perhaps for softwares, said 42%. No, trials are integral, said 19%. And finally, yes, if the word of mouth is good, was agreed by 16%. I think all 3 polls lead us to Ravi Vaityanathan of Esko. Ravi, who has 14 years of industry experience, has trained professionals about color management, proofing, and extended gamut printing solutions. One of the things Ravi believes in is 10 out of 10 artworks require editing. This is very important, since all these errors make it to the shelf. Ravi is a G7 certified CMP Pro and first certified implementation specialist for flexography. His specialization is in automating plus removing inefficiency in the pre-press process, plus handle complex packaging artwork production. Over to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Sriram. Thanks for the introduction. So let me start sharing my screen, and I will stop sharing my video because we have a lot of things to share other than my video. Yes, here you go. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, Ravi, we can see your screen.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. So, since Sriram has already given a good brief introduction about me, let me skip and welcome everyone to the session. Hope it will be informative to everyone. And about Esko, before we start, because I can see a good mix of crowd who are non-Esko users or pretty new to the market, and we also have somebody who are already using Esko solutions. So it's good to have some introduction and then taking it forward. So Esko, we are leading service provider both in the software and hardware solution for the packaging uh, field. So we serve both CPG and pharma brands and their suppliers also. So I have listed few groups in the bottom. So we also give solutions to wide markets who are like say pre-media trade shops, label converters, flexible packaging converters, folding carton converters, corrugation converters. So we serve a wide variety of customers. We enable them with highest efficiency and shortest time to market in the packaging development and the production process. Esko sells a unique end-to-end platform solution, like say coding, digitizing, automating the packaging, the entire packaging cycle. So that's very unique from Esko. So, and then if you look at Esko, we are an 100+ years a year-old company. We started in 1918 in the name of Purup, and we got rebranded. And in 2011, we were acquired by Danaher. Danaher is our parent company, which is listed in the New York Stock Exchange, and it is also listed in the Fortune 500 company. So, and then we also do industry. We closely collaborate with many of the leading industry players. So we play as a technology partners with many of the known uh, giants like Adobe, Agfa, Bobs, DuPont, Domino. So we share some technology with them. So that's about Esko. And about our presence, we are present all over the world, and our headquarters is in Ghent. And if you speak about India, the main operating center is in Bangalore, and it has one of the biggest R&D center in Bangalore. We also have offices in Mumbai and Delhi, and that's about our presence and what we do. So if you see, everyone is a designer. So many started designing on their own using different softwares. So what we do, we build color and packaging intelligence into the software or into your packaging the process. And the other thing is, you cannot afford errors, because errors inevitably will cause a lot of problems in the process. So we help you to prevent and as well as catch them early in the stage, so you can have a better control over them. And then sometimes you don't have enough time. So we have solutions like automation. So where we give back some time, in the sense we can automate few things and give more time for your operators to work on value tasks instead of non-value things. So, and you don't receive perfect communication. We also help you to get specific feedbacks. We have certain solutions which help to communicate between your respective shareholders to get their feedback, do the changes accordingly, and then proceed further in the workflow. And the other very key important aspect is when you do a lot of printing, so the physical component changes. There are many variables in the printing process. So we have some unique solutions which can automate the fingerprinting settings. In the sense, whatever the fingerprinting is done, we can capture all the variables, and we can also automate the fingerprinting process. So you are dealing with increasing number of SKUs and jobs. So we can help you to organize the work, identify the obstacles, and we can remove the obstacles and make it easy process to handle, and the flow will be much better. So if you're concerned about the future, we are there to face the future with you together, because we are backed by a 100 Fortune 500 listed company. So we are there to support your future. Coming back to the topic, reduced lead time and increasing efficiency with ArtPro Plus. So if you look at the market trend, the current market trend, so the situation, if you say print buyers are pushing for shorter time to market. So they give you a SKU, and which has to be produced, or it has to be printed, and then it has to be shipped back to them, delivered in a very short time. And if you look at the run length, it is also getting reduced. Ever increasing number of packaging changes, and the changes are happening very often. The brands want to change their graphics often. They want to introduce new product into the market to have to serve more audiences. So it's changing. It's very rapid right now. So challenge to protect the margins, more print-ready files per head count, less but faster touch points, abandoned rejections, missed delivery dates, or claims. So these are the challenges which are faced by any converter. So how do we do this? How do we tackle this? So it can be done when you centralize, when you integrate, when you standardize, when you automate a few things. So we have a better control over the process. So the lead time can be reduced, and you can improve the efficiency, or you can handle the SKUs very well in a shorter span. So if you look at the artworks or the SKUs produced, everything right now needs editing. So like say in a general scenario, the graphics might be designed by an operator or a person who doesn't have any printing knowledge. How it is going to be printed, on which process it is going to be printed. So they don't know any such things. They are more worried about the artwork, how colorful it is, how the colors, how colorful they can make, how attractive is the graphics is. So once it hits the converter, that's where the problem comes in. So you have to do a lot of changes to it. You have to do some changes. You have to modify the artwork to as per the process, as per the printing machines. You have to do some changes, and you have to make ready the graphics. That's where a lot of time has been put in the industry, and that time is like say whenever the SKUs are larger, you have to do it much faster. So the lead time has to be reduced for the SKUs which is going to the market. So so the other key element is whenever a graphics or a product which goes onto the shelf, market shelf, or so there are some errors. Sometimes there are some errors. So we did a survey. So global FMCG company. So we did this in 2017 to know what is the errors that makes to the shelf, and what is the percentage of the different groups. So like say there are some major grouping of the errors. So technical drawing, graphics, copy, the text content, text specifications, prepress, and print. So this is the one key area which we are going to focus today, because so the other parameters, or like say it is part of the product, in the sense the technical drawing which is given by the brand, so the customer, or so the graphics is given by them. So we don't have much control. But in the prepress or the print, where we have more control, and where there are some unintentional errors which are being introduced by the process. So I will give you one example to have a better understanding. So like say we have this graphics. So the actual text which has to be printed is 1 to 2 tablets per dosage. But while processing the graphics, somehow the hyphen got deleted. So it is not an intentional one. The designer might be doing some changes or he might be doing some correction. So by mistake, you would have deleted the hyphen. So if you look at the outcome, so this is very bad. So there will be some legal compliance. So this is a very bad thing. So this is not done very intentionally, but somehow in the process it got affected. How do we address this? So we should not do some errors while processing the file. So that's where this 19% of the major junks comes in. So what we have to do is we have to reduce it. We have to ensure that we are not unintentionally doing any changes to the artwork. So how do we do that? So that is how that's what we are going to discuss today in this seminar. So ArtPro Plus reduces unintentional errors when editing. So how this is done? So there are certain tools, certain quality tools or certain editing tools, which are very precisely built to suit your needs or to edit the graphics. So to like say very specific focused editing can be done instead of touching the entire thing. So that's how it is done. So how this is done? ArtPro Plus has 200 plus rules to automatically check and identify potential errors and specific violations without taking apart the PDF. So it is a PDF based editor. So ArtPro Plus provides you direct access to the right object. So if there is a transparency, if you need to edit something, if you have to correct something, so you can directly access the object and you can do the editing. So instead of touching the other objects, because the more you touch elements in the graphics file, that's where the problem comes in. So the new Esko trapper eliminates the need of preparing the artwork for trapping. So we will discuss more about the trapping in the further slides. So I have some videos to show whatever the points we have discussed now. So how ArtPro Plus can help you, how this is going to simplify things, how ArtPro Plus works. So we spoke about 200 plus tickets which are inbuilt in ArtPro Plus. So there are certain tools which can do very precise editing. So we can see how this can be done. So let's start with Preflight. Preflight is nothing but when you get a file from any, like say your customer. So the first step, what we do is we do some basic checks. Like say we check whether all the links are present, whether the colors are proper, whether any RGB elements are present. So whether the black text is in single color or it is in a rich black. So whether the line thickness is proper. So we do some basic checks when we get the file from your customer. So because we have, even before starting your actual work as per the customer. So we do a basic check. So this check can be automated using our ArtPro Plus Preflight. So we have a tool which can do things. It can do checks and it can also do automatic fixes. So we will see how that is done quickly using the Preflight option. So what I'm going to show you is left side, I have an traditional editor from Esko, which is called as ArtPro. And on the right side, you can see ArtPro Plus, how quickly it can do things, the regular, like say the generic print issues, like say the as we discussed, hairlines, rich black, breaker. So how these common things can be easily, it can be searched in the file, can be identified, and it can be easily fixed using ArtPro Plus. So left side, you can see I'm showing a typical editor, and the right side it is ArtPro Plus. So in other editor, I'm able to do only one, and in ArtPro Plus, I was able to do more than 100 things in a second. So so it is just a comparison between two softwares, how you can easily do things. On your right side, you can see it has already found out the errors, and it has listed out the errors. I have to just click on the errors, and then I have to do the changes, which is just very easy. And I am not selecting on the graphics. So whenever I am clicking on the errors, it is automatically selecting the elements in my file, and I can easily change things. So this is how ArtPro Plus can help you without causing any unintentional errors, because I am not touching anything. So whatever the errors, I'm just touching those things and I am changing it. So in other editors, I am able to do only 5 or 6, but in ArtPro Plus, I can quickly do 100 plus errors. So that's how the pre-flight works. So we have done with the very basic pre-flight things. And whenever we speak to the people in the market, they say whether you are ArtPro Plus, can I do editing more what I do in other editing softwares like Illustrator or Corel, like say I have some masks, so I have to fine tune them or I have to modify them. So yes, I can do those things also. So if you want to do some editings like your Illustrator or Corel, yes, you can do it. So that is very easy, much straightforward than the other softwares, and the user interface is very simple. So we have made as much simple as the workspace is very simple, because as a graphic designer, you need more space to work. So we have removed the unnecessary elements, and we made a very simple UI to work. So the graphic designer or the pre-press guy can see the graphics element more than the menus or the toolbars. So you can see how easily I am able to fix things. So much faster when compared with the other editing or the traditional editor from Esko. So ArtPro Plus is completely new software altogether, which has been built from the scratch, which to include more intelligence and more tools to work seamlessly for a pre-press guy. Okay, so we have seen how we can do some editing of the graphics, and then so the general question is, how do I work with bleeds? So whenever we get a file from the customer, so we have to spread the graphics to make it like say I have a cut line, I have to extend my graphics to some extent to compensate for my cutting or some issues. So you can see how easily the files are opened in ArtPro Plus. So because whatever the complex file it is very easy to open in ArtPro Plus, and I can process things very faster. So I have this one key aspect in this. So I have a die line, and I have to extend my graphics as per the die line, like say 3 mm outer than my die line. I can easily do it. But over here, it is a vector graphics, and I can easily do it in many of the softwares. So I will also show you another feature which can do much more things. So like say in the left side, it has taken me quite a long time to do it. But in the right side, you can see ArtPro Plus, I have already completed the work. So which is much faster than the ArtPro. And moving back to my next video. So what, like say in in some cases, or in most of my cases in the industry, what if I have a very, like say, if you see this particular file, I have a lot of vectors. And if I look at my graphics, I have both vector as well as an image. So I will show you. So I have a die line, which is a green color. And then I have a lot of vector images. And if I select this, you can see I also have a multicolor image, CMYK and some Pantone colors being used in it. So I have a vector as well as a bitmap, or sorry, image, which works. So I have both types of graphics. And then what I have to do is I have to extend the bleed. So I have to add some 3 mm bleed. So you can see I have used an option called as add bleed. So which will automatically add a 3 mm bleed to my graphics. I will show you. So whatever the bleed which has been created, it is on a separate layer, you can see. So it creates a 3 mm bleed, automatically expanding my graphics, which is not present in the file. So this is one generic process with many of us struggle as a graphic designer. If I have an image, if I have a vector, so they use, at least I have to spend some 20-30 minutes in correcting this. So this gives me a much faster way of working things. And you have seen it is, which is much faster, much easier to create a bleed in a single click. And whatever it has created, it is on a separate layer. So my die shape can be of any geometrical shape. So it is not necessarily has to be rectangle, square, circle. So it can easily create bleed for any geometrical die shapes. So much faster, much easier, much accurate. And then if you have some repeated things, so like say I have 3 different graphics files. So in this video, I will show you how that is done. Like say I have a graphics file, but there are 3 different variants of it. So how can I automate things? How can I easily do things? Because whatever the work we have done for one artwork, it has to be done for all the 3. Like say in this particular scenario, you can see I have a label which is of all the sizes same, only the variant, the flavor is different. Rest or all remains same. So whatever I do, I have to repeat for all the 3 artworks. So what I will show right now show you is I do a basic pre-flight, and then I do some corrections to it. And I like this particular option. Can you see? So this is one major problem which many of the designers or the pre-press guy comes across. So when you receive an artwork, there will be some white elements which are set in overprint. Can you see? I'm able to capture that element automatically using my pre-flight, which no other your Illustrator or a Corel or any generic editing software cannot do. So this is one repeated question which many of the industry people ask to me. So I have a graphics where there I will show you. So how do I find it out? So after printing, the customer said there was an white element, which was not printed. So I can easily find out, I can easily fix them. So that's the power of pre-flight or the automatic checks, which is within ArtPro Plus. So so whatever I'm doing, so I am just doing some work as per my press requirement. I'm changing the color sequence, and then I'm doing some standardized work, like say cut crease. So I'm doing some standard works as per my requirement, and then I'm moving my ink sequence as per my press requirement. So these are some steps which every pre-press guy does. So I am doing all those things for one graphics file. So once I am done with my first graphics, I am fixing my artwork, which once all my editing is done, I have to fix my artwork area. So once everything is done, how do I repeat to the other two artworks? Because the work is similar. So I will show you how fast we can do that, how easily we can do that. So I'm using a pre-flight with fixes. So I don't have to do it manually. So whatever I did manually, it is all automatically done in a single click. So it is much easier, much faster. So, and then coming back to the other operations, I will show you how quickly I can do by pressing one key. So I'm just pressing keys. So it does all the other work which I did manually for the other file, the first file. And then the trapping comes in. So we will in detail, we will discuss about the trapping. So it is just quickly showing how the trapping is happening, how the complex files are being handled, how the trap is being generated for the file. So this gives automated trapping will ensure the trapping for all the files are done in the same manner. So some standardization can also be done in the trapping process. Okay, so that's about the automating things using ArtPro Plus action list. And this is my favorite part, editing colors in ArtPro Plus without touching the graphics. So I will show you how that is done. So this is a typical artwork. So once you open the artwork, you can see in the left side, you can see all the colors which are used by my artwork. So it will list all the colors and the objects, number of objects. So I don't have to select manually. So like say if you are a person who uses Illustrator, you select an object and say select similar. Sometimes you will not, if the layer is locked or something, object is locked, you will not be able to select things. But in ArtPro Plus, you can select things much easier, much faster. I will show you how that is done. Can you see I'm just selecting the color in the left-hand side. It has automatically selected all the objects and I can easily edit things. Much faster, much precise, very precise. So it will tell you how many objects are being affected, what is the color, what is the fill. So everything is done very easily. So right now I selected a CMYK and then converted to a spot. So you can also select objects which we like say colors which are not required. So which can easily be selected and you can delete things. Or if you want to color change it, like say in this case, I have two Pantones. I have changed it from one to the other much faster. So I will go back to that and then I can explain you. So like say I have two Pantones. So I don't want two Pantones. So I will go back and then I will run. So what I can do is I can easily select that and then I can map things. So much easier, much faster. And I have not selected, if you look at the video, I have not selected anything manually. So it is very precise using my tools. And then I'm not unintentionally adding something or causing any additional errors to the file. So very specific focused editing is being done. And then here comes the automatic trapping. So before I speak about trapping, so first I have to clarify what is trapping, because in the market people used to say overprint, overshoot. So there are many terms being used in the market. So I will before I will explain those what is trapping. Like say in this video I will show you I have a graphics file. So I have two Pantones, the background, and then this particular Esko logo. So there are two colors in it, two Pantone colors. So I will turn on and off to show you how that is synced. So when I go for my printing process as per the printing machine, so when I do the printing, so sometimes there will be some misregistration because of the characteristics of the machine. There will not be properly sitting one above the other. So in ArtPro Plus, you have some quality tools, you have some registration error stimulation tool where you can stimulate the errors and then you can work accordingly. So in this case, I have a 0.2 mm of registration error, because of which I can see the substrate or the background color. So how do I deal with this? So generally what people do is they select the object and then they will give a stroke color to it, or they will do overshoot or overprint, expand the object. So whenever you print it, you will not see the object or the background color of the substrate. So this is fine when I have a very simple object. So what if I have a very complex artwork? Like say right now I have a different Pantone and I also have some images to it. So if I make things complex, how do I handle this? So this is where a lot of time is spent and the operator has to do a lot of efforts to ensure the file is proper. So with ArtPro Plus patented trapping tools, so I can easily do it. So I will show you how that is easily done. What I have to do is I have to go to my trapping tool and I have to give the value. So it will automatically do the trapping for images, vectors, everything will be automatically done. The trapping will be automatically done, and whatever it is done, it will be in a separate layer. So what if my on an actual job? So this is an actual job, like say a label, you can see. So in click of a button, my graphics got trapped. So you can see all the trapping. And the other unique thing about Esko ArtPro Plus trapping tool is I can define object-based trapping. Like say, for a particular object, I don't want 0.0, 0.2. I want only 0.1, or I want the distance. So I can play around with all the settings. So it will automatically do the trapping as per the requirement I have set for that particular trap. And the other unique aspect is, so I have added this graphics after I'm doing the trapping. Like say if I go back, so you can see, so I don't have the 20% free or whatever the above thing. So once my trapping is done, so if I am doing some changes to the graphics, so you can see there is no trapping. In a click of a button, so the trapping tool will automatically recognize what are the changes in the file and it will automatically do the trapping. So that's the intelligence of the trap engine inside ArtPro Plus. So coming back to our slides, so this automatic trapping technology is built in ArtPro Plus in the Despack tools, which is part of which is the plugin for Adobe Illustrator, and we also have an automation engine solution. So it is part of all these three solutions from us. So it is our unique patented technology trapping tools and ensures that the graphics, even high complex graphics, can be easily trapped using the automatic trap engine from Esko. So these are some of the unique features, so which I wanted to share with you in this webinar. So there are many other features. So if you are looking for a specific demo, please drop your details. We will contact you. We will reach out to you, and then we can do a very unique demonstration for you. So these are only a few key aspects or key features which we wanted to share with you to get the benefits from our ArtPro Plus. Sriram, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ravi. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ravi. I think this was a solid knowledge share. And I see already a few questions coming in from our delegates who have a lot of information to process now. So let me pick up a few of those questions and maybe you can answer them, Ravi.
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Yeah,
please go.
Sure. Great. So one of the first questions I have is from Dipanshu Goel, who wants to know how can we use 3D views in ArtPro Plus. And he says some of his clients want 3D views in the PDF file. Is there a possibility? Ravi, you can also turn on your camera so that people can see you.
Yeah, sure. I will do that. Let me quickly stop sharing my screen. And then, okay, I guess it's already turned off. Yeah, I hope you can see me now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we can.
Yes, yes, go ahead. Yeah.
So like I
So
said, the possibilities of 3D view is what Dipanshu wants to know.
Yes, 3D is possible with ArtPro Plus. So the structure has to be made. So based on your requirement, if it is a box, so you have to have a key line, like say a CAD structure, or if you are speaking about bottles or like say labels, or if it is a shrink sleeve, like say a shrink pouch. So based on the requirement, you have to create the 3D structure. Esko has some unique tools to create them, and then you can bring in that structure inside ArtPro Plus, and then you can visualize how the label will be pasted on the bottle, or if it is a shrink sleeve. So how the different elements will be looking after it's the shrink is being done. The like say when you if you are having a shrink label, if it is going on top of a can, so after the shrink, the graphics might get distorted. So there are tools, unique tools, which can predict things, and then it can distort the graphics accordingly. And after printing and then after doing the shrink, so the graphic will be much better, which looks much better on the bottles. Yes, with ArtPro Plus, you can do all those visualization things, 3D visualization using ArtPro Plus.
Okay, got it. Thanks. There is also this question multiple times about spell checker in the tool. Ravi, is there a spell checker? And if yes, how does it work?
Spell check, no, right now we don't have tools for doing the spell checks. Because it's more like like say if I'm a pre-press guy, I get a file which is already flattened. I don't have any live text. So many of the customers, they don't want to touch the actual text in the graphics.
Okay.
So it is very rare people share the live text, because there is the possibility of being edited, the text being like say we saw one live example where 1 to 2 doors has changed to 12. So generally we don't get live text in the industry. So we don't provide that option. But there are some solutions in like say when you go with automation engine, there are some third-party plugins which can be integrated to do those spell checks and all those engines. Because if you look at the engine, it requires a lot of dictionaries to be inbuilt. So it is again altogether a different solution. So we also integrate with other parties who are very good at that, and then we integrate with them, and you get a better solution in the process, in the life cycle of the package.
So you're saying that there are possibilities, but you'd require third-party tools to, solve the problem. Okay, and there are already provision available with ArtPro that can work and solve this as well.
No, in ArtPro Plus by default.
No, I mean a provision to work with connect to a third party and solve this problem, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So there is this question from Arun Kumar who says, I was unable to create my own color swatch in ArtPro Plus. What if I need a color swatch named MCD Global Red? So how do they go about in creating their own color swatch?
Yes, we can create color swatches. The tools are there. So you can create your new color swatch. So if you want to convert a CMYK to a spot color, which is a very wide requirement from the industry. So I have a particular color which is in CMYK. combination, but I don't want to run it in a CMYK. I want that to be converted to a Pantone. Yes, the ArtPro Plus tool can help you to quickly do that. Yes, there are options. So if you have any specific questions, please drop us. I will share the email with you so we can connect and show you how that can be done within ArtPro Plus.
Sure. Maybe Ravi, you can drop the contact details on chat so that people can pick it up from there as well. Maybe you can, if you can do that before I move on to the next question.
Yeah, I will quickly do that. One sec.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So there is this question about.
Oh, sorry, 1 second.
Yeah. Please take your time.
I will send it to everyone because it was.
Okay. Got it.
I guess you got the info.
Yes,
you also have the email ID and the contact informations. So if you have any questions, please call us, reach to us. We can help you out.
Sounds good. So there is another question about how can I create plate ID object. This is very technical. I'm not very sure what he's asking for. Maybe if you make sense of it, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Recently, we have come up with a unique solution called as plate ID, because when you make a plate, and if you are a trade shop, you have to make so much of plates to track those things. And the other issue, or we can't say it is an issue, when you add some information in the imaging area, it also gets printed. So we have done some researches and we have come with a unique solution called as plate ID. But there are some prerequisites for it. So you have to have some setup from Esko to enable that. So please share your details. We will touch base with you so we can show a specific demo regarding the same about the plate IDs.
Okay, that's great. There is this question from Mansi who wants to know what are the types of file that can be opened in ArtPro Plus.
Okay, it's a very good question. So ArtPro Plus is a PDF-based editor. So whatever the files you work, so it has to be a PDF file. So in general, in the industry, you get many different formats. So you have to convert them into a PDF file, and then you have to open in ArtPro Plus, and then you can start working.
Okay.
So it is a PDF-based editor.
It's a PDF-based. Okay, got it. So there's another question. Nilesh Patel wants to know, sometimes same file opened in ArtPro Plus and ArtPro has different color separation. So he's wanting to know how to address this.
So unless I see the file, I cannot give you a solution. So of course, you are a Esko user. So please touch base with our service team. So we are happy to help you out. So if you have any specific questions, technical questions, if you are an Esko user, our service team is already there to help you out. So unless I see the file, I cannot tell you what was the actual root cause.
So Nilesh, like Ravi said, you can reach out to the service team, or you have Ravi's contact details listed below. You can reach out to him and they'll be happy to help you with your query. The next question is from Montu Bora. He wants to know any provision to distort the image as per specific pattern. Example, our image shrinks by 99.9% after printing. So I think the question is more about how to distort image as per specific pattern.
Okay. So like say if you're, I guess you must be using the flexo process. So like say as per the plate elongation or the plate being stretched while mounting it, you are asking for the distortion. I guess that is my understanding from your question. Yes, we can do that. So you have to calculate there are many factors involved in it. So the plate thickness, the type of backup material you use. So you have to calculate based on that, and then you can feed the value. You can feed the value into the system. So in ArtPro Plus, we have a very specific input or a metadata where it can capture that, and then it can be processed in the further, like say in your RIP or in your automating solution. If it is from Esko, it can take that value and it can distort the entire multi-up file as per the distortion value. That can be done instead of manually doing.
A lot of questions flowing in, Ravi. So let's take as many as possible. So next question is from Hassan, who's saying, will you be covering the efficient methods in stepping a job in AP Plus? That are stagger steps, reg aids, bearer lines, micro dots, bleeds of elements into trim areas on specific lanes, etc. Do you want me to read it again? Or did you make...
Yeah, I got the crux of it. So I guess what he was asking is, you want a file right from like say getting from a customer, doing all the editing as per the requirement and doing a step and repeat, doing finishing it as per his press requirement. Yes, that can be done, but in this session, it is not possible, because by doing that, it will take at least 30-40 minutes, right from editing and doing all the requirements as per the press. So please drop your email or the informations. We will be very happy to touch base with you, so we can show you, right, taking your own file, starting from the pre-press, whatever the tools we saw, like say preflighting, doing the editing, doing a step and repeat, adding the bearer marks, automatic color bars, how it can easily do it, how quickly we can do it. So yes, we can do that, but not right now, because it takes a lot of time. In the sense, I have to show you from end to end, so people will think it is too much in the webinar. So we can do a focused demo for you. Please share your information.
So again, please reach out to Ravi and team separately, and your queries would be answered. This question is from Manju. My next question: is there a comparison option in ArtPro Plus like automation engine?
Yes, we have a very good compare tool. So it can compare between two graphics files, and it can automatically align the trim margins, and you can also it can intelligently tell you which separations there are changes, and you want to do a tilt compare, like say generally what people do in the industry is they open two PDF files in Acrobat and do a swap, and then they see what is the difference. Yeah, that can also be easily done in ArtPro Plus, and it can also highlight intelligently and tell you this is where the changes are. We have compare tool, we have breakout tool, you have a minimum dot area tool, which can highlight and tell you specifically for the Flexo customers. So registration error tool. So there are a lot of tools, quality tools, but due to time constraints, we just shared you key tools with you to make it very precise.
Got it. So next question is from Ishant. Does ArtPro have pre-flight options like N-focus pit stop?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. And yes, we have the pre-flight. And if you are a follower of Esko, so Esko, the N-focus, if you are speaking about pre-flight, the well-known name is N-focus pit stop. So N-focus pit stop is our sister company. So if you buy ArtPro Plus, or if you buy any of our solution, like say automation engine, so we use the same engine from N-focus pit stop, because we share the technology. And if you are a very good user of N-focus pit stop, once you open the profile editor, you can see the same interface as if it is N-focus pit stop. Since it is a sister concern, we have taken the complete technology, complete engine from them, and then we have put inside ArtPro Plus and made it very simple to look for you.
Okay, that's great. So there is a general question from Mukund who wants to know, can any practicing graphic designer, use ArtPro Plus without training, or do they need specific training to actually start using the tool?
So if you ask me, if you are a very good Illustrator user, so you can easily start using ArtPro Plus.
Okay.
So it is if you look at the user interface, it is very simple and the tools are self-explanatory. You select the tool, on the top you will get what are the different options you can do with the tool. So to start with, to some basic extent, you can manage yourself if you have a Illustrator knowledge. The tools are very similar to that. The shortcuts are very similar to that. So people who are very good in Illustrator, they can start learning on themselves very easily for ArtPro Plus.
Okay, that's great. So that means with very minimal training, they can get started, and
Yes.
maybe once they start mastering it, they need more help in terms of training, right?
Yeah. While developing ArtPro Plus, this was one of the concern or the feedback which we got. So where we made as simple as possible, so people can use it or start learning and then using it. Sorry, give me 1 second. 1 second.
Sure.
There is some local election thing going on, so these guys are doing a lot of campaigns.
But you're good, Ravi. We are not able to hear that, so I think your noise cancellation is doing well.
Oh, great then. Yeah.
So there is this question from Hassan who wants to know: can you generate an auto cutting file, free cut in ArtPro?
Auto cut, free cut in ArtPro Plus. I guess he is referring to the plate cut, or it is for specific to flexo plate staggered cutting. That's what I can understand from the question. Yes, we have tools to create the plate cut, staggering plate cuts, very easy. And we have improved it in the latest version. So there are some additional options which can do much better, and it is much easier. So yes, in a click of a button, it can create the cutting lines, which can be shared with other systems to do the cutting.
Okay. I'm going to take a couple of questions, and while there are so many other questions that are coming in, we will maybe share this with you offline so that you can answer them, and that can be done. So, we will also maybe use this knowledge sharing that has happened now and the question and answers. We can, at Print Week, we can maybe publish a Q&A online as a handbook, and this might be useful for all the users in the packaging industry and who are readers as well, if that's something we can do. Ravi, we'll maybe talk about this offline, but I'll take a couple of questions now, and then we will close this session. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine, perfectly fine.
Okay, there is this question which I'm looking at from Pramod, who says, while processing, if some elements were deleted by mistake, is there any option for cross-checking with the origin?
So that's where the compare tool comes in. So like say, if you are doing some corrections, so you have the original customer file, and then when you open it or make a copy, move it to your working folder, and you start working with it. So by mistake, you might delete something, or like say if it is part of a masked element, so when you release it and do some editing, there are possibilities of getting edited. So that's where this particular compare tool comes in. So you can do the comparison, and it precisely highlights the object which are modified or which got deleted. So you can make a call whether it has been intentionally done by you or it is done by a mistake. So that will help you to minimize, or you can remove the all the what do you say, unintentional errors being introduced in the file.
Got it. Got it. Last question. This is from Raghu. This is a twofold question, very simple one. He wants to know if ArtPro 21.11 is accessible on tab, and can you optimize viewing of ArtPro Plus on a retinal display?
No, it is meant for high-end graphic editing. So we never thought about bringing it to iPad or a handheld device. So probably in future it will happen, but right now it works on a proper system on a MacBook or a Mac or a Windows-based operating system. And Retina, so the latest operating system, it supports the Mac OS thing, but Retina displays, I'm not sure what specific you are looking for. Probably you can get the system requirement from our website. So if you go to esko.com, you have to select the product, and then you have to go to the system requirement section. It will list you all the system requirement for any software from Esko. It is open to all. You can access to it, and then you can check on that.
All right. Thank you so much. But one last question. What is the latest version of ArtPro Plus now, Ravi?
So the latest version is 21.11. So
Okay.
Which is a November release of last year. So 2022, we are coming with a new version with a lot of new features in it, which is scheduled in March. So you can expect some release in the third or last week of March. So generally, every quarter we do a release. So it will be 22.03, 22.07, 22.011. So
Okay.
the version number carries the month.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Ravi, for your time. Again, I learned a lot during the past 60 minutes, a lot of insights about how Esko has helped in transforming the packaging pre-press business in India through its installations. Also, you said print buyers and brands are seeking a shorter time to market. And there is a new normal for TAT, that is a turnaround time in this day and age.
Exactly.
The general thing is, how can our industry further automate pre-press ops so that the industry can work at higher efficiency levels with an automated engine solution? Plus, it can save 70% of operator time. One critical area in the pre-press ops is that 3 types of processes whereby one can automatically check and identify potential errors and specification violations on the shop floor. And finally, lots of errors that make it to the shelf due to the faults in tech drawings, tech specs, etc. And how can our industry minimize these goof-ups and use the pre-flighting system? We can be as perfect as a NASA spaceship launch to Jupiter. Thank you, Ravi, once again, and Romba Nandri. I would like to also thank my colleague, Alexander, for tweeting live during the past 1 hour. Thank you, Nazir Mullah and Naveen Grover, for the IT tech support for this session. The PrintWeek and Watt Packaging team, which is headed by our national business head, Sudhanva Jadgaonkar, is planning something very exciting with the world of printing inks in March. Stay tuned. Thank you, all of you, for attending this session. Be safe and take care.
Thank you, PrintWeek team. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for attending.